So this is the end of our second week of the Uruguay Corona Chronicles. Our updates are for people living in Uruguay, stuck here for the duration, or who fell in love with the country and want to stay in touch at this critical time. So Karen, what stood out for you this week?
I would say, Reggie, that it's the reasonableness of the political arena. A new government, which is a coalition, came into power on March 1st. And our first cases were registered on March 13th. A very difficult situation to deal with, of course, for any government, but certainly wow, that's pretty difficult. The new government kept a pretty tight rein on the measures to be implemented, and the opposition, the previous government for the last 15 years, and trade unions were complaining. Now, this week they met together around a table. I mean, I wasn't surprised because reasonableness, I would say, defines the Uruguayan character. The conversation was reasonable, measured, amiable. One of the results has been a new bill was passed for a coronavirus fund. There were different opinions about some of the sections and who should be funding, but what happened was that both sides registered their discrepancies and then voted unanimously for the fund. That's remarkable for a political situation anywhere in the world right now. So to me, that totally stands out this week.
And Karen, there's a concern about next week in Uruguay, right?
Next week are the Easter holidays, or as they're called here in Uruguay, it's tourism week. And yeah, there is a concern that people are gonna act less responsibly and take off to the beach. We've got great beaches here in Uruguay, like within Montevideo itself, minutes away by car, and then fabulous beaches in Maldonado, which is the main tourist destination in Uruguay for beaches, and also Rocha. And a lot of Uruguayans have holiday homes. And so the government is particularly worried about people not behaving responsibly next week. Actually, 90% of the cases are in 2 of the provinces. And so really, the government does not want people heading out to the countryside where there are currently no cases, or to beach areas where there are currently no cases. So how are they dealing with this? The Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of the Interior have decided that they will put up over 200 checkpoints along different roads throughout Uruguay. They're going to be assigning 1,500 police and other officials to be policing those points. If you plan to travel, really make sure it's only urgent travel. The other thing is that to dissuade tourists, Maldonado, where the famous fingers are in Punta del Este, they have actually surrounded the fingers by barriers and like kind of crime scene type of tape. Same thing for the beaches. We'll have a look for some photos. Now, of course, you can go through and do your walk, but they're very concerned because most of the people that have been observed walking are older people in the risk groups, and so that's one of the reasons that they've decided to take this measure. Things have been going well here, and it's really important that in the next few weeks we flatten the curve as much as possible.
You will find more information about this episode in our show notes in YouTube, and also subscribe so you can get a notification every time we publish a new videocast. Well, as usual, Karen, it was great talking to you. See you soon.
You too, and you haven't been feeling well, not virus related, but thank you. Thank you so much for coming in to make sure that we could do the last video of the week. Look after yourself, and everybody else, stay safe.
Totally.